All right, for this one, there's a lot going on, so I'm actually just making a very similar question, except instead of plus 9, I've changed mine to minus, so it's a little different. And instead of an X, I put a 4. Instead of N, I put an F. So let's talk about this one. If I want to solve for Y in my problem, Y is down in the denominator. So my first step is to try to get that Y up from the denominator, because right now this is like saying 1 over Y. So the first step is to get it up from the denominator. But because that left side, it has a fraction and it has a subtraction, I'm first going to move that minus 13 to the other side before I multiply. So I'm going to add 13 to both sides. So that gives me 4 divided by Y equals F plus 13. Now I want Y by itself, but it's in the denominator. So this is the point that I'm going to multiply both sides by Y to pull it up from the denominator. So when I multiply this side by Y, Y divided by Y cancels. And then over here, I'm just going to multiply this by Y as well. So I end up with 4 equals F plus 13 times Y. So I've told you guys before, whenever you're solving an equation, if there's parentheses, you should distribute. But in this case, if I were to distribute that Y to the F and the Y to the 13, that's actually going to make it more difficult for me to solve it. So instead of distributing, I'm just going to think of this as what I see. I see F plus 13 multiplied by Y. Y is not by itself because it's being multiplied by F plus 13. So all I'm going to do is undo that multiplying by F plus 13. And I'm going to do that by dividing by F plus 13. Because anything divided by itself cancels out. So I have to do that on this side as well. So what I end up with is 4 divided by F plus 13 equals Y.